Training investigators in analytical thinking is really the foundation of an intelligence-informed investigation culture. It's what shifts the investigator's role from a simple check-the-box administrative exercise to a genuine truth-seeking mission. This kind of development doesn't happen by accident. It requires structured frameworks, the scientific method, and a competency model that blends natural traits with learned skills. We start by building the investigative mindset. This mindset is all about understanding how the truth of a conclusion depends on the truth of the supporting claims. Investigators learn to move beyond raw data collection and into sense-making and intelligence fusion. They're trained to start from zero, to avoid jumping to early conclusions, and to recognize oversimplifications. This protects the integrity of the investigation and helps manage risk. We also bring in the scientific method, separating objective facts from subjective inferences, judging probability, and assigning truth values to evidence. And investigators learn to use both deductive reasoning, where they predict results from known causes, and inductive reasoning, where they build general principles from specific observations. Moving back and forth between these two forms of reasoning is essential for solving complex mysteries. Competency models help define what skills and attributes investigators need. The art of investigation includes traits like tenacity, curiosity, ingenuity, and skepticism. Curiosity, for example, is treated as a power, something that can be sharpened through questioning techniques that draw out richer, more emotional information. Modern workflows also use role-based competencies. An incident analyzer looks at patterns and occurrences. An evidence examiner sorts and prioritizes evidence based on relevance and truth value. A file coordinator ensures administrative accuracy and analytical rigor. And for complex cases, it's often helpful to have specialized literacy in areas like accounting or IT systems. Because there's no universal training program for workplace investigators, organizations need multi-layered development strategies. One of the most important is training investigators to develop multiple working hypotheses, rival, even contradictory theories, so they don't fall into tunnel vision or become attached to a single idea. Investigators also develop an index of suspicion, sometimes called the investigative nose. Training helps refine this instinct by using historical data and pattern recognition. Peer review and debating are also essential. Structured briefings encourage team members to act as contrarians, challenge assumptions, and identify intelligence gaps. This kind of intellectual friction produces the most defensible decisions. And of course, continuous professional development is critical. Laws change, technologies evolve, and digital forensics advances quickly. Competency has to be maintained through lifelong learning. A major part of analytical training is overcoming cognitive barriers. Investigators must learn to recognize biases like anchoring, confirmation bias, and groupthink, all of which can poison an investigation if left unchecked. They're trained to subject their logic to what we call the Globe and Mail test. Would their reasoning stand up if it were made public? Is it legal, moral, and ethical? Training investigators in analytical thinking is ultimately about building disciplined, curious, and resilient professionals who can navigate complex evidence landscapes and produce defensible, intelligence-driven conclusions. It's the cornerstone of an investigation culture that values truth, rigor, and organizational integrity.